the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Good evening, everyone. This is Mara Nolasco, and welcome to Tonight with Matthew 5:16. The why behind this simple message is for us to be inspired from the different characters in the Bible, ordinary men and women who had an encounter with God. And it is my prayer that you and I will be able to learn from their wisdom, their faith, the ups and downs of these people who made the decision in putting their trust in God. And for tonight, I would like to share to all of you one of the character in the Bible named Jacob, and why he called the deceiver, the one who wrestled with God and prevails. And may the life of Jacob gives you the direction, the revelation that you are looking for. And may the learnings be of use to you in the near future. Just like what I've said, our character for today is Jacob. Who is Jacob and why he called the deceiver and the one who wrestled with God and prevails? And what are the lessons we can learn from the story of Jacob and from his character? Jacob has a twin brother named Esau. Esau was the firstborn and Jacob was the younger son. And their father's name is Isaac. Yes, Isaac. And the wife of Isaac is Rebecca. Esau and Jacob was very opposite to each other. Yes, very opposite to each other sila. Magkasalungat sila ng characteristic. Because Esau was a hairy man. Yes, mabalbon si Esau. While Jacob is very smooth-skinned man. Yes, smooth-skinned man siya. And at the same time, Esau loved hunting outside. Esau loved going outside to hunt animals. While Jacob loved working around home. So, he loved staying at home lang. That's why Isaac loved Esau very much. That is why mas pinapaboran ni Isaac si Esau because he loves hunting. At the same time, he was the firstborn. And Rebecca favored Jacob because he loved working around home. So that time pa lang, meron na nangyaring favoritism. And why Jacob called the deceiver? There are two reasons kung bakit tinawag na deceiver si Jacob. First is obtaining the birthright from Esau. Yes, obtaining the birthright from Esau. Para sa hindi po nakakaalam, birthright is a legal right for the firstborn. Yes, it is a legal right for the firstborn son and to a double portion of the inheritance of the family. Yes, to a double portion of the inheritance of the family plus the leadership of the family when the father dies. Yes, that is the birthright means, and Esau was the firstborn. And the second reason why Jacob called the deceiver is he tricked his father Isaac to get the blessing from Esau, who belongs to Esau. That blessing, because that blessing belongs to the firstborn son. And again, as I've mentioned earlier, Esau was the firstborn son. And Jacob tricked his father to get that blessing, who belongs to Esau. And Isaac is about 135 years old at that time, bedridden and nearly blind. Yes, malabo na yung kanyang paningin, dala na rin ng katandaan. So, you can read it in Genesis chapter 25 to 33, the whole story of Jacob, why he called the deceiver, and the one who wrestles with God and prevails. And now, Esau is hunting and came home hungry and tired, and he asked Jacob to give him some food. And ginamit niya itong opportunity ni Jacob para linlangin, para lokohin si Esau, because he commanded Esau, sell me your birthright in return to the food that I'm going to give to you. And at that time, gutom na gutom talaga si Esau, and wala siyang ibang iniisip kundi makakain lang. Even his birthright is kaya niyang ipagpalit para lang sa bowl of food. And that time, nagwagi si Jacob because Esau did not care about God's promises to the firstborn that time, and he made the deal with Jacob, and now Jacob would head the family when their father dies. Kasi nga nagwagi doon is pumayag si Esau na isal yung birthright kapalit ng bowl of food. And because of what happened, Esau lost not only his birthright but also his blessing. And at that time, Isaac was very old. And kailangan niya nang ibigay yung blessing to the firstborn son. And he told Esau, please bring me fresh meat, then I will bless you. And agad-agad umalis din si Esau para maghunt ng animals, para may pagluto niya yung kanyang father kung ano yung request nito. At the same time, his father will bless him. And na-overheard to ni Rebecca, ang asawa ni Isaac. And we all know that Rebecca loved Jacob and he wanted that Jacob to be blessed, not Esau. So, gumawa siya ng plano and he asked Jacob na kumuha ng malulusog na kambing at magluluto sila ng paboritong pagkain ni Isaac at ihahain sa kanya. And ang gagawin ni Jacob is magpapanggap siya bilang Esau. So, sinuot niya yung kasuotan ni Esau. We all know that Esau was a hairy man, mabalbon si Esau. And Jacob is a smooth skin man, so walang bahid ng balahibo, hindi mabalbon si Jacob. Sobrang opposite sila. And pinasuot ni Rebecca yung kasuotan ni Esau kay Jacob para magmukhang mabalbon, and pinagsuot din siya ng mga mababalbon na balat na galing sa hayop, goat skin, na pinagsuot siya sa leeg at the same time sa kamay, para kapag hinawakan ni Isaac si Jacob, hindi niya malalaman na si Jacob pala ito at hindi si Esau. So, and Jacob brought the food to Isaac. And Isaac said, "You sound like Jacob, but your hands feel like Esau." And we all know that Isaac was very old at that time and nearly blind at the same time bedridden. And after he had eaten the food, Isaac blessed the son kneeling before him. So ibinigay niya na yung blessing kay Jacob na dapat para kay Esau, because all this time ang alam niya yung na-bless niyang anak is the firstborn son, pero hindi, it is Jacob. And after ma-bless ni Jacob, umalis siya, and Esau came from hunting and he prepared food for his father. "Here's your food," he said. And Isaac knew he had been tricked. Yes, knew that he had been tricked. "And I cannot change the blessing." And he cried. And Esau's heart filled with hatred. At the same time, gusto niyang patayin si Jacob, because this is the second time na niloko siya ni Jacob. First is obtaining the birthright who belongs to him, and the second one is tricking his father. And kinuha niya pati yung blessing na dapat para sa kanya. And na-overheard ito ulit ni Rebecca. And nadinig niya na gustong patayin ni Esau si Jacob. And we all know, Rebecca favored Jacob. Mahal niya si Jacob. And inutusan niya si Jacob na pumunta sa Haran, sa lugar ng kanyang kapatid kung saan siya nanggaling, para doon magpahupa ng galit ni Esau. And at that time also, ginatungan na rin ni Rebecca na kasi that time si Esau is nakapag-asawa ng mga non-believers o hindi naniniwala sa Diyos. And he said to Isaac, pagod na siya sa ganong sitwasyon. And Isaac also blessed Jacob na ang gustong mapangasawa ni Jacob, ang gustong mapangasawa nito is galing din sa pamilya ng kanyang ina, galing din sa kanilang angkan. So hinayaan at binless ni Isaac si Jacob na pumunta sa Haran at maghanap ng mapapangasawa doon. And gusto ko lang din sabihin sa inyo, though Jacob was a trickster, God did bless him throughout his life. While Jacob was traveling towards Haran, habang papunta na siya doon sa Haran, because yun nga ang inutos ng kanyang ina is pumunta siya sa Haran para doon magpalipas ng galit ni Esau. He lay down to sleep in the desert and dreamed of a staircase that extends up to heaven. So nanaginip siya. And God appeared to Jacob as he slept and blessed him. Mababasa niyo to sa Genesis chapter 28 verse 13 to 15. And God said to Jacob, "I am the God of your father Abraham and Isaac. I am with you. I will give you this land by your family. All the families of the earth shall be blessed." And after God spoke to Jacob, he awoke and binless niya yung lugar na yon. Nandoon na nagpakita sa kanya ang Panginoon through his dream. And yun na nga, nakapunta na si Jacob sa lugar ng kanyang uncle, which is Laban, and winelcome siya doon. So Jacob loved his cousin Rachel. Nagustuhan ni Jacob yung kanyang pinsan, which is Rachel. Ito ay anak ni Laban. May dalawang anak na babae si Laban, si Leah and si Rachel. And gustong-gusto talaga ni Jacob si Rachel. And at that time, dahil sa kagustuhan niya si Rachel, so kailangan niyang magsilbi ng 7 years para mapakasalan niya at makuha niya si Rachel sa kanyang ama. And at that time, nag-serve siya ng 7 years kay Laban para makuha si Rachel. And but on the wedding night, Laban cheated Jacob. Yes, naramdaman ni Jacob yung panlilinlang, yung panloloko sa kanya ni Laban, kung paano niya din niloko yung kapatid niyang si Esau. Because at the wedding night, ang ibinigay para makasiping ni Jacob is hindi si Rachel, because Rachel was the younger daughter of Laban. And according to their tradition, kapag merong magkapatid, dapat mauna mong ikakasal ang panganay na anak. And at that time, ang nakasiping niya pala was Leah and not Rachel. And pakiramdam niya, niloko siya ni Laban, 'di ba? Naramdaman niya yung wag mong gagawin sa ibang tao kung ayaw mong gawin din sa iyo. And sa sobrang pagmamahal niya kay Rachel, nag-serve siya again for 7 years kay Laban para mapangasawa si Rachel. And true enough, nangyari ito, nag-continue siya sa pagsaserve and nagkaroon siya ng 11 na anak. And as years pass, he longed to take his family back to Canaan, kung saan siya nanggaling, kung nasaan ang mga magulang niya, at the same time kung nasaan yung kapatid niya na mayroong galit sa kanya at gusto siyang patayin. And one day, God told him to return, and Jacob gathered his family and flocks to set out home. And in this scenario, he even deceived also Laban, kasi umalis siya sa poder ni Laban. Dinala niya yung mga anak at apo ni Laban nang walang paalam. Diniceive niya rin si Laban dito. And true enough, doon sa scenario na yon, habang naglalakbay si Jacob at ang kanyang pamilya pabalik sa Canaan, merong isang gabi sa ilog ng Jabok, kung saan ipinatawid muna ni Jacob ang kanyang mga anak, at the same time ang kanyang mga asawa at ang kanyang mga alipin na kasama nila. Habang mag-isa na lang siya, after mapatawid niya sa ilog ng Jabok yung kanyang mga alipin, at the same time kanyang asawa at ang kanyang mga anak, Jacob wrestled with God. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go until you bless me." Dumating na ba kayo sa point na yun na parang sinabi nyo kay Lord, "I will not let you go, Lord, until you bless me." That desperation na meron kayo, that situation na pinagdadaanan nyo, hindi nyo hahayaan na pabayaan kayo ng Lord hanggat hindi kanya nabibless. And the man asked him, "What is your name?" And Jacob, he answered. Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." So what do you really need from God right now? And what blessing do you want from Him? And how badly do you want it? Because there are times when God only releases His blessing on us after a season of prolonged and even painful wrestling with Him. And that time, Jacob was full of fear and desperation, kasi gusto niya nang bumalik doon sa lugar nila. And kung matatandaan nyo, sinumpa siya ni Esau na gusto siyang patayin. But he ended the night of struggling with God blessing and a renewed faith. Sinabi niya, "I will not let you go until you bless me." And sa pagkakataong ito, hinarap siya ng Diyos. Hinarap ang takot ni Jacob sa pamamagitan sa pag-utos sa kanya na makipagbuno sa buong magdamag. And God even made Jacob injured. Yes, God even made Jacob injured for him also, na para hindi mag-depend sa sarili niya, kasi babalik siya sa kanyang kapatid. So ang kanya lang talagang aasahan is God. Surrender to God everything. 'Di ba? And kung kinakailangan, hahayaan tayo ng Diyos na madulas o mag-suffer upang madagdagan ang ating pananampalataya sa Kanya. Gusto ko lang sabihin sa inyo mga kapatid, despite of our wrongdoings, despite of our mistake, despite of our things, God is still do love to bless us. God is still do things to fix us. God never stop doing good to us. And through our sin, our sin causes a great pain and suffering that will cause na sa ganyang pagkakataon hindi tayo mapoprotektahan ng Panginoon. Kasi we all know that suffering, that mistake na nararanasan natin is a effect of what we did, kung ano yung ginawa natin from the past. And gusto lang ni Lord is matuto tayo from that and learn to ask for forgiveness and repent to Him, whatever it is. Because He who promises faithful. Again, salvation. Bago ka pa nga humingi ng tawad, napatawad ka na niya. And after that suffering, there's glory. And there is hope for flawed people such us. And God's choices to bless us is based on His own purposes, not ours. And all of our struggling with God, all of our suffering with God, in faith, leads to peace. And what a trip it was. Esau came to meet Jacob with 400 men, but he didn't hurt Jacob. He ran to meet Jacob and gave him a big hug. And Jacob and Esau was reunited, and Jacob was safely home. There you have it, the life of Jacob and why he called the deceiver, the man who wrestled with God and prevails. Hope to see you again on Monday as we discover another learnings from ordinary men and women who made the decision in putting their trust in God. And it is my prayer that you and I will be given the same opportunity the way those characters encountered Him. A blessed, a wonderful evening to all of us.